What is going on, guys? Chris here, and in today's video we're going to be checking out my 5 favourite puzzles. So I was actually going to do my 10 favourite puzzles for this video, but my collection is mainly built up of just 3x3s, so I thought I didn't have that many unique puzzles, and I had the 5 favourites already decided. It was just the other ones that I couldn't quite pick, so we're going to be doing the top 5 favourite puzzles in this video. At number 5 we have the Megaminx. Now this is the Chi concave Megaminx, but it's not the particular brand that I like, it's the actual puzzle, the Megaminx. Megaminx is a really intuitive solve, more so than the 3x3 in my opinion. Depending on which method you use, you build basically everything on your own intuition. You do F2L, then you do these pieces here, then you do F2L again, just about near the top layer, and then you only really start to use algorithms when you get to this last face. I'm not particularly fast at Megaminx, my personal best is 2.5 minutes, so I'm by no means a skilled solver of this puzzle, but I just really like to pick this guy up every now and again and do a really chilled out and intuitive solve. At number 4 here we have probably an obvious one. It is the 3x3. Now this is the particular brand that I like. Of course 3x3 is naturally going to be one of my favourite puzzles just because it's the puzzle that started off my whole interest in cubing, but this particular puzzle is the 3x3 Tanglong in brown. Now for those of you that don't know, this was my main speed cube for quite a while before I got the Gans Air. The thing that I love about this puzzle is that it's just so unique. Not many people have brown 3x3s, and this is actually a really fast 3x3 as well. I can solve really well on it, my recognition isn't really affected by the brown colour, and I just think it's a really cool conversation starter. As you can see, I've used this puzzle a load because that Haribo 41296 logo has kind of rubbed off a little bit, so I love this puzzle to pieces. It is absolutely amazing, and I guess it's just kind of symbolic of my channel really, because I've made quite a big deal out of this puzzle, and for good reason. This is an awesome 3x3. At number 3 we have a puzzle that I was unable to solve on Can Chris Solve, and that is the Constrained Cube Ultimate by Calvin's Puzzle and Tom Z. This puzzle is really fun to solve actually. As I said, I couldn't solve it on Can Chris Solve, but I've since been able to do it a number of times, and I think it's a really enjoyable solve. Obviously you can kind of get around F2L by jiggling pieces about and then sorting them into a way that you can put them in their slots without having any bandaging. But when you get to the last layer, it's a real challenge to adapt and manage to solve the last few pieces when you have these constrained layers here. You have to do a lot of 2gen and a lot of moving the pieces around. You actually have to take some of the F2L pairs out just so you can do a final algorithm, but I have figured out a number of moves that you can do in order to orient the corners, the edges, and then finally permute them using kind of convenient algorithms that can get around these center caps. I think it's a really enjoyable solve, and I love solving this from time to time. I just wish it turned a little bit better. At number 2 we have a puzzle that was in my last favourite puzzles video way back in like 2012 or something. This is the Square One. Just like the Megaminx, I am no good at Square One whatsoever. I don't even time myself because I'm that bad, but I'm so fascinated by this puzzle. I always have a large amount of difficulty learning how to solve this puzzle, and I think I finally got it. I just think it's so insane that a puzzle can turn like this and shapeshift so much, and then of course come back to the cube in just a few moves. I'm meant to be doing Square One at an upcoming competition, but I don't really have an interest in speed solving it. I just think it is a really cool looking puzzle, even if the solve is a little bit difficult to do. I've had a Square One for a really long time, and I've only just recently learned how to fully solve it, parity included. I just really enjoy this puzzle. I think it's really cool. It's kind of nice to solve it from time to time, and obviously you can get pretty fast if you wanted to. So before we get to number 1, I just want to bring up some of those honourable mentions, one of which is the Rubiks Magic. Now obviously this is no longer a WCA puzzle, it actually was stopped at the end of 2012, but I think this is a really unique puzzle. There aren't really any other cubes out there that are like this other than the Master Magic. The puzzle is a really fast solve and it takes quite a bit of skill to get good at it. My personal best average is 1 second 65 and that got me 3rd place in the UK Open. So maybe this is a sentimental puzzle, but I love this all the same. I still pick it up from time to time. I think it's a really awesome puzzle. Then secondly, for the honourable mentions, we have the Master Morphix. I love shape-shifting puzzles. I think they are really interesting and also really fun to solve. And this just happens to be one of the most difficult shape-shifting 3x3s I have. I think it's a really cool and interesting puzzle. I love the way it shapeshifts and I love the difficult aspect when you get to the last layer. It's a really cool solve and I'd be really interested in getting myself a 4x4 version of this just to see how I do. Finally, on to number 1. You guys probably figured it out already. It is the 4x4 and this particular puzzle is the Kung Fu Kang Feng in Stickerless. It's not just the brand that I'm into though. Recently I've really been enjoying solving 4x4. At my last competition my average was just about sub 1 minute 30, but I've been practicing a load and my new current PB average of 5 is 1 minute 12 with my personal best at 1 minute 5 seconds. The thing that I love about the 4x4 is pretty similar to the Megaminx actually. You have the actual 3x3 solve, but the rest of it is completely intuitive. I use the Yao method to solve 4x4, so obviously you do the 2 centers intuitively, you do your 3 edges intuitively, you do the centers intuitively, and then the rest of the edge pairing is, you guessed it, pretty intuitive. So I really love doing puzzles that don't require a lot of algorithms, and 4x4 is just that. It doesn't take me too long to solve, about 1.5 minutes is just about right for a puzzle in my opinion. Obviously there are people that are a lot faster, but I'm pretty happy with where I am with 4x4. I think it's a really enjoyable puzzle to solve, and that is why it is my number 1 puzzle. So there you have it guys, my 5 favourite puzzles with the 2 honourable mentions. My interests change all the time. This is a very different list compared to my last top 10 favourite puzzles video, so maybe I'll do another one in about a year or so when I have more puzzles in my collection, but as of right now, these are my current favourite puzzles. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please remember to leave a like, leave a comment below and let me know what your favourite puzzles are, and then of course subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have an amazing day.